Self-concept work will change your life. It will help you finally manifest everything you've been wanting to manifest. I'm talking about way more than you could have even imagined before from where you currently are. I'm talking things way more in alignment with you that you are so grateful that you didn't get maybe a specific thing that you were trying to manifest before, but because you now did the self-concept work, you got something even better, something even more aligned, something that shocked and surprised you, and then you still got it what you want to, but you just didn't care. You actually manifested the thing that you wanted even faster because you were detached from it, because you were just focusing on your self-concept. So in this video, let's talk about the difference between self-concept and affirmations and why self-concept is the key to you transforming your life, to manifesting abundance, to literally manifesting your best life, a life full of love, pleasure, joy, connection, all the different things, because everything is your birthright. You are inherently whole and complete in all these different things. The problem is that when we are manifesting with affirmations, we're manifesting from a place of not being whole and complete because we are trying to manifest something outside of ourselves. So when we manifest with affirmations like, I make $100,000 a year, or 20 people signed up for my new program, or I manifested this specific guy, like Johnny finally asked me on a date. The problem is when we do that is we are placing the power outside of ourselves. And so we put ourselves in this chasing loop, and then we never actually get the thing that we want. In fact, when we manifest things outside of ourselves, sometimes we do manifest it, but the path there is so hard and full of so much discipline and fear that when we finally get there, we can't even really enjoy it because we don't feel good. That's the other problem with manifesting from affirmations or trying to manifest something outside of you. It's because when we manifest something outside of us, it's coming from the knowing, the belief that we are not already that person, that we aren't already inherently worthy of that thing. And so therefore we have to manifest it. We have to conjure the energy. The thing is, everything that you want is here right now. It's who you already are. The problem is that you want it because you don't believe that you're that person. You want it because you believe that it will make you happy because you don't feel happy. And so anytime we put something outside of ourselves, like an affirmation, like 20 people signed up for my program, Johnny asked me on a date, 20 guys asked me on a date, this girl asked me to be their best friend, and I've always wanted a girl best friend. I don't know. I'm coming up with random affirmations that we would say to ourselves because we're trying to manifest something outside of ourselves. And the problem with that is that it's not about the thing, it's about how we want to feel when we get the thing. And this is where the self-concept comes in, and why when you do self-concept work, it actually manifests everything that you desire, everything that you want in life faster. But also when you manifest it, you actually can enjoy it. Whereas when you manifest things from affirmations and striving and pushing and forcing and really trying to produce something outside of you, it creates this vicious cycle of getting the thing, not feeling good, and then needing to do another thing. Now needing to manifest the next thing because you're like, well, I'm bored of this thing. I don't even feel good. Like, of course I have this thing. I don't want this thing anymore. When we manifest something outside of us, it's because we get to this place of really either having worked so freaking hard that we are exhausted and at our wits' end, or we have become the person who naturally has that thing. And so then we can't even appreciate having the thing that we manifested anymore. And that's why we then desire a new thing and we're on to the next goal. So with self-concept work, the reason this stuff is so powerful is because it gives you the thing you actually want, which what you actually want is abundance, it's peace, it's joy, it's love, it's to experience something in life. Like, you are here to experience life. But the problem is you don't allow yourself to have those experiences because you don't believe that's who you are. And so if your self-concept is, I'm a person who's unlovable, or I've never had a boyfriend. I'm a person who's never had a boyfriend, and I don't even know how to have a boyfriend. I'm a person who can't make enough money. I'm a person who always gets paid less than everyone else. Why do I always get paid less than everyone else? If these are the thoughts going on in your head, no wonder you haven't manifested all the things you want into your life, and it feels like such a struggle, because you are trying to manifest from fear, from scarcity, even discipline. Discipline and laziness actually can be fueled by fear and scarcity. And that is why even the most disciplined people who do achieve goals are not happy. And then they're constantly on to the next goal and the next goal. So when you do self-concept work, it's about re-anchoring into who you already are. Instead of, I'm a person who's never had a boyfriend, I'm a person who's so lovable that men are flocking to me left and right, and I get to have my pick. Instead of, I always get underpaid, especially compared to other people, money flocks to me. Like, literally, it's hard to get it away from me because I provide so much value to this world. I'm so valuable. People want to hear what I have to say so much. It just keeps showing up. I'm so good at managing money that it just keeps showing up in bigger and bigger amounts, and I have to figure out new and new ways to manage it. I'm a person who's so good at giving love to the world that it just comes back to me in uber folds. Do you see the difference? When you come from thoughts of love about yourself, it creates an energy within you. It creates a vortex within you that opens up new pathways in your brain. You start to notice all the ways in which you actually are that person, and you were that person this whole time. The only problem was that society, or your mom, or some traumatic experience, or your upbringing, or maybe just even your own freaking stinking thinking thoughts have been telling you that you are not that. And so because you've been telling yourself that you are not that, you've only been able to see all of the reasons out in the world, your external reality, why you're not that. And it confirms you every single day, every moment of every day. But other versions of you also are here for the choosing, for the picking right now. And it's actually your responsibility to choose that. You have the choice to choose to live life from love and create more love, because like attracts like. Or you have the choice to create from fear and attract more fear. As humans, we are learning how to love, and real love is unconditional love. A lot of us humans haven't learned unconditional love because it starts with unconditional love for ourselves. If we had unconditional love for ourselves, we would just naturally manifest things like that, because we would know we are infinite. We would know we are love. We would know our love is so big that nothing can take it away from us, that nothing can hurt us, that even if someone does something bad from us, we can look at it from a higher perspective and have love for them and understand that they came from pain. Love creates more love. And here's an example. Let's say you actually have anchored into unconditional love, which, gosh, is quite a feat. And why, if you start your self-concept work with I'm lovable, I really think that's the best basis to start self-concept work at, is I am lovable, I give love, I receive love, I am love. My love magnetizes everything that I desire to me. My love heals the world. Like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Starting with love, that is the foundation of all of life. So starting with that self-concept, what it does is if you truly become the embodiment of love, you can impact other people. So let's say you come in contact with a person who does something mean to you or decides to tell you you're a piece of poop and you should just stop being love, and they're like questioning your love and they're projecting all of their fear and crap onto you, and they're like, you're not real love, you're actually a piece of poop and you're low vibe and you're this and you're that. When you come into contact with that person and your love, you would just have love for them, because you would be like, oh my God, I know that I create my own love and I know that all love is in here. And if I try to control that person and tell them to act differently, then I'm not loving who they are right now. They're in so much pain that they're projecting that onto me. Because that's what we do. We project our pain. We project our pain, and that is why it then manifests into more pain. That's why when a painful person projects their pain onto someone else, and this person has pain inside of them, it makes the pain grow. Whereas if a person projects their pain onto a person and they have only love inside of them, the love can alchemize that pain and they can radiate love back to that person. They can allow the pain to bounce off of them towards that person. If they absorbed the pain, they could respond with pain, and it would be a back and forth ping pong match of pain. See what I'm saying? Versus if this person was hateful and the love person, because they're like, I'm a lovable person, my love alchemizes, my love transmutes the world. If the love person wasn't pure love, they would love that person who hated them because they would know the pain. They would love the pain. They would love that person. And then what would happen is they definitely would not be responding with more pain and hate. They would either hold the space and allow that other person to go through their own process, or they would just give love back and then separate and not need that other person to change. Unconditional love is not needing someone else to change. Because if you need someone else to change because they're not okay with who they are, it's because a part of you needs them to change for you because you are not okay with who they are. And so therefore you are not okay with how life is, with who you are. Because if you were okay with who you are, if you were just in pure love, you wouldn't need someone else to change. You would just love them through it. And that is why we are here to learn unconditional love. Because if you think of a lot of people in relationships, for example, especially when we have abandonment wounds and pain and that little spot of lack of love inside of ourselves, if we have abandonment wounds, we'll end up trying to control another person. If they don't clean the house and act exactly the way you want them to in relationship, then we will try to control them and tell them they need to work harder in the relationship and be something else instead of just unconditionally loving them for who they are. When does nagging someone and telling them they're doing something wrong ever inspire them to get better? Or if it does inspire them, it inspires them from a negative emotion, from fear, from pain. And then when they do the work to better themselves for you, they end up exploding when they finally get there. They can't sustain it. They go back to the old version of them. We all know that in relationship too, right? And vice versa. If you were instead in a relationship and you were in unconditional love, you would see that this person that's not cleaning the dishes, that's not acting the way you would want them to in relationship, is perfectly fine the way they are. And that actually giving them love and loving them through this and just being love for them is the only thing you can do. You have no control over another person except for to see their potential and hold them to their potential and remind them of their potential and be like, and notice all the good things that they do. When you see someone in a certain light, they naturally want to raise to meet that vision you see for them. And it's actually way easier for them to raise and stay there because it's propelled by love. So you want to impact the world, it starts by coming into love with yourself first through your self-concept. I'm a loving person. I'm a caring person. My love heals the world. And then naturally you start magnetizing things to you because people want to be around that love. People want to protect that love. That love is abundant. That love is not controlled and forced and manipulative. That love is pure. It is that feeling that everyone is chasing. It is that feeling that you're chasing when you do affirmations. So instead of chasing something outside of you, realize that it all starts from within you and your self-concept. I'm a joyful person. My joy is selfless. The more I follow my joy, the more my life works out. The thing is when you believe something about yourself, you start to find evidence in your external reality. And when you find the evidence, it anchors in a new belief about yourself. And the evidence grows and it grows and it grows. And you enter this stage of devotion to life. If we think about how the universe works, how nurturing works, how love works, if we look at even just an apple tree, if you pick an apple off an apple tree, it grows more apples. It doesn't grow less apples. It comes from love and nourishment. It provides love and nourishment. And when you receive the love and nourishment, and I'm sure you're grateful for it because you were hungry, you wanted to eat that apple, it produces even more apples. It's like, oh, that fed you, that fed the earth, let me produce even more. And so it all starts with love, coming from love for yourself, allowing that love to radiate out and then attract more love. If you meet hate with love, that hate doesn't grow. It can either alchemize or it can stay the same. If you listen to a lot of NDE, near-death experiences, they all have the same experience and they all come back with the same lesson. And the lesson is that we come from unconditional love. We are love. We are infinite. We know that we can have anything that we want. We are so much bigger than we are here on Earth, but that Earth is a training ground and Earth has these negative experiences because we are here to experience and learn and grow, and negative experiences are the fastest way that you can learn and grow. So if you're a person who's a lovable person, whose joy impacts the world, who through following their joy makes their life better and better. The more you have fun, your life gets better and better. The more you respond from love, your life gets better and better. If you believe that about yourself, then when a negative experience happens in your life, when you go to learn the lesson, you could actually learn the lesson from love. You can actually gain more empowerment, more strength from that lesson. Whereas if you are not in love inside of yourself and you don't see yourself as a person who always responds with love, and instead you see yourself as a victimized person, a person who can't possibly respond with love because there's hate and you have to give the hate back. You have to force the hate out of the world through giving your hate or something like that. I don't know. We make up some logical reason why we have to spread hate in order to get more love. I don't know why we think it works, but we do. A lot of people do. Activists do. So when we respond to a traumatic situation from hate, it doesn't help the situation. It makes it spiral worse. It makes you seek out that situation subconsciously again so you can repeat it and heal it a second time. And then it becomes this vicious loop of, why do I keep getting traumatized in this way? Because when we're motivated by fear and hate and the lack of love, it perpetuates pain. When we respond to life as loving beings, because our self-concept is that I respond to life with love and my life gets better and better, because it all starts with us. It doesn't start with anything outside of ourselves. If we do that and we respond to life with love, it does alchemize the pain. It gives us strength. It gives us a lesson, which we're here to learn lessons. It's wild to me how every person who's had a near-death experience comes to that conclusion. I've also come to that conclusion from doing mushroom trips and 5-MeO DMT. So when I hear their experience, they're like basically describing the experience I have had on plant medicine. And so that's why it resonates so much with me. But I've also seen in my own life, because I used to be a massive control freak, like a person who would control their life to a T. I had no friends growing up. I was obese at a really early age, in so much pain because I had such a lack of love in my life and didn't know how to talk or communicate and all these different things, and controlled everything in my life. eating disorders, all these different things that I've healed through. And the answer every time I've healed through a really stubborn pattern that I thought I'd have my whole life, that I thought I was a victim to, was love. It was surrender. It was actually realizing that I was complete and whole all along, that I actually just had to trust myself, that I actually just had to trust love, that I actually just had to nourish myself and nourish myself from love when it came to food. In a relationship, instead of being afraid someone would abandon me, I just had to come at the relationship from love and allowing that person to be them and I could be me. And as long as I was unconditionally loving myself, then my relationships would be unconditionally loving because I wouldn't need to control that other person. The only reason we perpetuate an abandonment loop is because we are afraid someone will abandon us. And so then we get triggered when they act in ways that might abandon us and we try to control them. And then what happens is they abandon us. We just manifest the energy we come from. So again, your self-concept helps you anchor in, what energy do I want to come from? So I hope this video inspired you to manifest from love, from your power, from where you really do have your control, which is how you want to feel, how you want to respond to life, so that you stop controlling things outside of you that leads you nowhere. And I want you to live your best life. I'm an astrologer, so I'll tie this into astrology, but the North Node is going to move into Pisces the next 2 years. The North Node is a collective destiny point, and currently the North Node is in Aries. And since the North Node has been in Aries, has been when I've learned the power of self-concept work, because Aries is our identity. It is our self-concept. The North Node is here to collectively teach us lessons. And I have seen more self-concept work and videos come out over the last 2 years when the North Node moved into Aries than I have in the whole time I've been learning about The Secret and manifestation and all these different things. And that is because we're evolving as a society to recognize that our identity is our power. When the North Node moves into Pisces in January, what I believe we're going to be coming into is we're going to be learning that our love is our power. Pisces is the sign of unconditional love. And it's also a sign that is self-sabotaging and has fears. So two sides of the same coin. Pisces energy can sabotage itself by coming from its fears, just like we talked about with abandonment wounds. You're afraid someone will abandon you, you can sabotage yourself and they will abandon you. Versus if you were to come from the high vibration of Pisces, unconditional love, you create more of that. You close karmic loops, you stop self-sabotaging. And that is where we're going to be heading over the next 2 years, is we're going to be recognizing how important the energy we approach life from is. So I trust that this video helps you manifest. If you want to learn even deeper into doing self-concept work, I have a free Activate Your Joy challenge. It's 7 days of videos where I teach you to do self-concept work, and then I also teach you how to use your birth chart to integrate more joy into your life. That's what we do here. I love to combine astrology with personal development work because astrology is just energetic currents in the sky. You are the powerful one. All right, I love you. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe, hit the like bell, and I'll see you on the next video.